Today we're watching drag racing fails. And we are joined by legendary racer Steph Papadakis, who's gonna break down what went wrong. First clip.
Corvette and
Oh, the driver in this clip, Shannon Poole, actually walked away from this crash.
So let's break this down. It seemed like it launched well, starts lifting the front end. It does not look like it's got wheelie bars on it, so it kind of ends up on the rear bumper. It unloads the rear tires unevenly, and then it's going so fast, you're at takeoff speed for an airplane. It's like putting your hand out the window when you're traveling down the freeway and you get to a certain angle and it just sort of pushes your whole hand back. The nose comes up, enough air gets underneath, and it's just game over after that. That's pretty much how you ride off an entire vehicle right there. I'm Stefan Papadakis, a longtime drag racer, record breaker, and nowadays own and run a Formula Drift program with Rockstar and Toyota.
oh yeah.
Next clip. All right, a little POV shot. Uh-oh. Oh no. "50-50 grind." Over the wall.
He tried to get back on the track, didn't really make it.
That's brutal.
I don't think that's a 50-50 grind. That's a rail slide.
Oh, rail slide.
This guy's probably done wheelies a whole bunch of times, and he comes in back into the pit after doing the wheelie. They're like, dude, that was sick.
I'm gonna keep doing it.
Yeah, because you hear him, he launches, and the nose comes up, and you hear him throttling it.
Yeah.
Like he's managing the wheelie like he's done this before. He's on the throttle even when he's on the left side of the rail.
He was going full throttle with the car pointed at spectators.
When you're really trying to go fast down the quarter mile, any energy that's used to rotate the vehicle up is energy that's not forcing the car forward.
It's wasted energy.
It's wasted energy. So when you go and look at the NHRA and the pro guys, they're barely pulling the front wheels off the ground, if at all. You can almost hear it a little bit when the car comes up. I don't know if it's him lifting or the wheelie bar hitting and it unloading the rear tires, deactivating the tire a little bit.
If I popped up that high, I would immediately let off.
And that's not good either, right?
No,
Because when they
that's
pull the
probably
wheel
worse.
off, it just slams and breaks your
it.
suspension, who
Everything,
knows what
yeah.
else. So this guy must have been full red mist. If you're that kind of driver and you just love to full throttle, drag racing's for you.
All right, let's check out this next clip. Beautiful car. Uh-oh. Oh, a little bit of a yard sale. Drive shaft on the ground. That sucks, dude.
Something in the rear end broke.
Yeah, I think it sure did.
The drive shaft transfers the energy from the transmission to the rear end. And then it goes to the differential, which has a gear, so it turns 90 degrees basically. It looks like that whole piece, the whole differential piece, fell out of the rear end. And a lot of the time, like on this one, the drive shaft is bolted to it in the back, but they use what they call a slip joint in the front. So it just slides into the transmission. So if you look at on the right, that slip joint right there, you can just pull it out.
Yeah.
So once it's not attached to the rear end, the whole drive shaft just comes out with it. A lot of the time on the drag racing cars, when they launch, you want the tire to slip
Just a little bit.
maybe a couple of rotations and then kind of get moving. Because if it just grips like that, you can break a lot of parts. Yeah, I don't see that many rear ends falling out of the cars nowadays. But front-wheel drive cars going drag racing, it'll break transmissions, axles, the gears. When you're dealing with a modern car that was designed to go, over 100,000 miles, they make all of those steel parts out of a much harder material that's much more brittle, so they don't wear over time.
Yeah.
But when you shock load them, they can shatter.
Dang, the OEM's gotta, they gotta predict this kind of stuff. Some of us like going to the drag strip. Why aren't my needs being catered? All right, this next clip is from Cletus McFarland, but before we see what kind of trouble he got himself into, a quick message from the sponsor of this video.
When you're in the garage, you use your toolbox to keep your essential tools organized and secure. And when you're outside the garage, you should use today's sponsor, Exter Wallet. It's a toolbox for your pocket. This is Exter's Parliament vegan leather wallet, and this leather is actually made from old busted windshields. It can hold up to 12 cards and give you instant access with one click. It's equipped with RFID protection to guard you from data thieves, and you can even add a tracker to make your wallet easy to find. Visit shop.exter.com/RMS to get 25% off your Exter wallet right now, or just click the link below. That's 25% off with code RMS.
You've probably seen this next one before. This is from Cletus McFarland. You know what that guy's about. He's about fast cars, tire smoke, and trouble at the drag strip. Oh. Oh,
Oh my God!
what would your seating suggestion be for this, Steph?
Clearly, they had no concern with safety. The recline mechanism either wasn't locked in or failed. So you can have some stuff like that. I've had friends talk to me about like steering wheels literally coming off. Unfortunately, I haven't had that happen to me.
Yeah.
But like steering wheel falling off and then like having like the right mind to just like stick it back on.
Yeah.
And they were able to get the car stopped.
That's like the worst fear right there.
The tip I always give, if you put something on, tighten it. Not like, oh, I'm gonna come back to this later because it's super easy to forget. Or like even if I'm getting a phone call or somebody's coming over and talking to me, it's like, hold on, let me finish what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Let me tighten all this stuff up. Okay, now let's have a talk or something.
Let's check out this next clip. It's gotta be Australia, right? Never seen that car before.
I don't see a problem. Oh, wait, what?
Oh no. Stuck throttle.
His instinct needs to go to the kill switch. Turn the ignition off. Every moment when you're going 200 miles an hour is however many less feet you have to slow down. And then he may have also then panicked and gotten on the brake too hard and then potentially locked up a tire. And then now he's just slapping the wheel.
I mean, that was some good wheeling though. It didn't hit the wall or anything like that, but still managed to keep it away from the wall while dealing with an unexpected issue like that.
I mean, I've been in that situation before, and a well-designed drag car with the parachutes mounted properly, it should do that. It keeps trying to pull the car straight.
Ah, yeah.
So when you have like a bow and arrow, right, and you have the little feathers on the back, so when the arrow's coming through, it creates drag in the back. So that always wants to kind of keep pulling the arrow toward the rear.
Yeah.
So imagine you have this parachute on the back, and even if the car gets sideways, there's so much drag from the parachute, it keeps trying to pull the car back in line. Obviously they had some kind of malfunction, but they set up the car well, and the driver clearly did enough to keep it from crashing.
Good job, yeah. All right, next clip. Oh.
All right, we got a Fox body.
I also got someone.
Supercharger.
Oh no. Dealing with the track prep.
Yeah, you got me good that time. Now I'm looking at the car, and then, yeah, sure enough, did her butt get stuck?
I think
too?
so.
On the drag strips, because everybody wants to go fast on the drag strip, they try to make it as tacky and sticky as possible. So there's chemical that they spray down. Usually it's called VHT, and the VHT makes it really sticky. And if they've just sprayed it down, your rubber shoe will literally stick like fly paper to the track. And we've had situations where we're walking out there and like, if you don't have your shoe laced on well, your foot just comes out and you've got sock, and then now you end up putting like your sock on the track, and it just turns into a complete mess. But she obviously got a little bit caught by surprise and fell. I have never seen that where someone actually hits the deck.
Probably the most egregious example I've seen,
She's probably more embarrassed than anything. And then she ends up on YouTube.
On the show.
On the show.
If this was you and you can prove it, info@donamedia.com, we'll send you something for your trouble. What's that noise? Oh, it's our next clip. Oh boy. Tokyo
That's
Drift.
good drift, counter steering and everything.
Looks sweet.
If that was out of context,
That'd be pretty sweet. But where are they? They're just like on a
it's
road
probably
somewhere.
leaving Cars and Coffee, right? Isn't that what that happens? Get a little sideways.
Get a little sideways.
They swap ends.
Yeah.
They're in the grass.
Yeah. I mean, this is the opposite of the last clip we watched. There's no prep on something like this. I mean, they might have sprayed a little bit, but it's not going to be as prepped as like a proper burnout box.
And a lot of these cars that are designed just to go straight, with the skinny front tires and relatively stiff rear suspension, like doesn't want to roll. Once it starts kicking out, it's difficult to bring it back in line. And when you're dealing with a track like this, it's really slick. And so it steps out a little bit off the tire line, and then now you're dropping a tire into the grass. But it almost looked like it started pointing to the right first, and then they corrected it, and then overcorrected, and then that's when it started really having trouble. Aside from any legal stuff or whatever the thing is here, I actually like this kind of drag racing where the driver really matters. You know what? The guy probably drove it right away and lined right back up.
Yep. Let's take a look at our next clip. Oh. Jeez.
he launches. It has a bunch of tire speed. He lifts off the throttle. And what can happen is when you lift, is when you can have that backfire through the intake because there's so much fuel and boost and everything.
Yeah.
And it backfires through the intake, and that's why you end up having the superchargers blowing off, right? Superchargers bolted down with these special, I think they're aluminum studs, right? They're meant to, like, at a certain amount of force, allow the supercharger to blow up so it blow off.
Yeah.
So it doesn't destroy a bunch of other stuff.
Yeah. How many engines have you blown in your career? Can you?
I mean, I don't.
Have you lost count?
It's gotta be over 100.
Really?
Yeah, it's gotta be over 100. Throughout the years, we're always trying to like push the limits. And a lot of the time when we're building engines that people haven't built before, we don't know the next thing that's gonna break. There's no one at the cutting edge that's not breaking anything.
Yeah.
That just doesn't work.
Yeah.
How do you know where the edge is unless you go over it once in a while? Or 100 times.
All right, if you have an amazing clip about racing or anything else going wrong with a car that you want to see experts like Steph watch on this show, you can now send it to us at realmechanicstuff.com. Let's watch our next clip.
Oh, is that a little Eclipse?
Oh, no.
I don't think he likes the girlfriend or something. 2 cars line up for a drag race. The black car probably went too far. And they're like, dude, you gotta back up a little bit to get in line and just never put it back into first gear. Just left it in reverse. I've seen that a bunch of times. This is a pretty prepped Mitsubishi thing, because look, it's probably 4-wheel drive.
Yep.
And he's got slicks on all 4 wheels.
Yeah.
So surprising that they would make that big of a mistake.
I know.
Because I doubt it's the first time drag racing.
Mustang got an easy dub, though. Let's just watch the next one. Oh, what? It's endoed that car. Could you downshift hard enough for it to do that? That's what happened? Wow.
These guys at the drag strip on the East Coast,
Yeah.
they call it the Uno Dos Uno. These are the NA cars, the naturally aspirated, no turbo, no nitrous, and they're super high strung. They're probably like at least 10,000 RPM engines, probably.
Yeah, that's
And
cool. Dang.
yeah, he went from first to second, and instead of getting it to third, he went back to first, and it just probably locked up a bunch of stuff and broke the engine. Yeah, it's like hitting the brake super hard, and it endos.
I've never seen that before. I didn't even know you could do that. That's insane.
I know in the front wheel drive space, that's been something they've been really trying to develop, is the right shifters and stuff like that. And I think some of these guys will do like a first gear lockout.
Yeah, I mean, got it. This has probably been the episode that's been hardest to react to be honest, because you know all the money that gets spent on these things, but also to mess up like that in front of all these people too would be very embarrassing. I'm a lot of sympathy for all the people in these videos today. I'm afraid of what's in this next one. Nice launch from both cars. Car left aim. Uh-oh. Oh.
Did he get the wind light?
I mean, I think so.
Stuff's caught on fire, but maybe it blew the intake manifold or something, like a fuel line then comes off, and then that's what we're seeing.
There you go. Why do you think it was green?
It's hydrazine.
Hydrazine.
It's the fuel fire. Okay, well, there you go.
Wow.
They probably got it running for the next day.
So our next clip features a world record breaking run on a drag strip. But before we check that out, Steph, remind the people who you are and where they can find you.
I'm Stefan Papadakis. You can find me on YouTube at Papadakis Racing or Instagram at Steph Papadakis.
I love the series you did building the Supra FD car. I watched everyone. Definitely gotta check that out. And with that, let's check out a new world record.
But now the table has turned. Perry served up an average speed of 113.8 miles per hour and set a new world record.
Are you glad you came? Okay, so
Oh, it does have a little roll bar behind
that's
his
where
head?
he's at. That's where the driver's at. There's a little bit of a roll bar right
Oh,
behind.
dude, I totally got tricked.
Yeah, you did.
I got so
Yeah, this guy's fake.
Yeah, I just realized that now.
Okay, and his helmet's sticking out right there. I mean, dude, it's confusing. It's a table going 113 miles. I don't blame you. It's an actual Guinness World Record for fastest furniture, achieving an average speed of 113.8 miles per hour. Not bad for a table. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like what we're doing here. Check out realmechanicstuff.com. You might even be able to join us on the show. That's right, I'm surprised too. Stefan, thank you so much for coming on the show. You're a legend. This is crazy. This is so cool.
Thanks for having me.
See you next time.